told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Asia gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Hello and welcome to A Perfect Match. I'm Asia, and we are here to talk about the final episode of season 18 of Married at First Sight. We made it, y'all. I mean, this season obviously hasn't been as long as some previous seasons, but it gave us a whole lot of entertainment. And so we're here to wrap it all up, just like they did in a tiny little bow. And of course, I'm not here alone. So I'm here with my co-host who we talked a little bit pre-show. We're thinking about going into a small business together. Maybe we'll use your name, maybe we won't. I don't know. Jason Reed. Jason, how are you?
Asia, I'm great. I can't wait to follow the Juan and Carla model, and hopefully you start to try and blackmail me at some point, and then I come out with a bunch of videos about the fact that, you know, I have a big secret. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I hope Asia stops trying to blackmail me.
And then I'm just going to keep throwing it back on you. It's going to be your secret to reveal. I'm above it. I'm not going to reveal it, but I'm going to do a podcast where I'm going to talk further about it. Won't reveal the secret though, because I'm above it.
It's not my business to tell. I'm going to let him tell it, but just to let everyone know that there is a secret out there to be told. Yeah.
Right. That's the only way to handle it.
That's everyone's business model, right? That's what everybody does.
Yeah. And we're not alone this week. We are joined by our lovely third co-host of season 18, who so graciously joined us this season, hopping in and out. We're giving us all of your thoughts throughout the entire season. We've loved having you so much. Mari, how are you?
Thank you. The official last dance to the theme song for season 18. I'm so glad I was able to cover this with you guys. Who would have known when we said, look, let me just pop on the podcast this season? Who would have known that this would have been like one of the funnest seasons to cover?
Exactly.
In the last like 5. Like this is fun. I'm so glad that I was able to do this. Thank you guys for inviting me on. And I'm glad we're here. I got a little wine to celebrate the end, and we're here. We're gonna do this. One last hurrah, one last commitment day.
Right. Yeah. So before we dive into the happenings of this episode, we have a few housekeeping things. So of course, make sure you go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed, where you can get all the episodes for A Perfect Match, where we talked about season 18. We've gone all the way back, we started covering Married at First Sight on this on RHAP at season 12. You can also find our coverage for Love is Blind season 8. You can find seasons 2 through 8 on the Love at First Sight feed. So make sure you go subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Also subscribe to the RHAP YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We really appreciate it when you do. We will shout out a couple. There's so many to shout out. So we're still working our way through. We know it's the last episode for the season, but of course there will be future seasons. So first one I want to shout out is Nita Jewel. Says, thank you. I came to the MAFS podcast during Love is Blind, but I have always been an on and off MAFS watcher because the show alone could never hold my attention. Now that I have this podcast, I am an invested regular. Asia is adorable. Thank you. And it reminds me of myself, just wealthy and famous. LOL. And Jason is hilarious. His commentary on the relationships makes you understand why he is successfully married.
That's right.
Okay.
Thanks for your hard work. That's what such compliments.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Nita, get out of here, girl. Oh my goodness.
Tell me more.
Listen, don't ask my wife about being the most successful husband, a successful marriage. She might tell you something different.
Now you can tell her this. Like, we got a review that said.
That's right. Listen, I show her every positive review that I get talking about how funny I am, how hilarious I am. She's like, they don't know you like I know you. So I was like, okay, fine.
We also got one from Holly K. Sinclair. Says, finally found a good MAFS recap pod. This podcast is a lot of fun and expertly produces a recap of MAFS in a way that aligns with diehard viewers. I am part of the MAFS groups on social media and was looking for some voices to critique the episodes as well. This is the perfect compliment. Thank you. That's exactly what we wanted this to be.
Yep, for sure. First I'm going to do is Dixie517 says the best MAFS podcast. And the only, if I may add. My favorite podcast team, love Asia and Jason, and Mari too. Talking MAFS, always matter the quality of the MAFS. Thank you so much, Dixie. We appreciate that. The other one I want to do is from LOLMS. Makes the show even better. Just found you guys, but you make this show even better. You pretty much say everything my hubby and I do. Yeah, that's what we're out here to do. We're out here to confirm your, confirm your feelings, to know that you are not alone and you are not crazy. These people really are messed up. We're going to tell you how.
Yeah, because when you're watching something, you're like, I know I'm not the only one thinking this. And then you look at it, okay, I'm not.
I love that feeling. Yeah.
Yes, I am validated.
But then when you go, I know I think this, and you go online like, oh, I'm the only person.
Everyone's the cutie situation of Love is Blind. Don't remind me.
Oh boy.
Oh. I still got a gripe about that, but it's okay.
That's neither here nor there.
Save it for Reddit, Mari. Save it for Reddit.
Right. Make sure y'all go join the Facebook group. You can find us at A Perfect Match Podcast. We have a great time in there talking about each and every episode. It's very active during the off season because we're still talking about the season. There still will be updates happening. We'll be gearing up for the next season. So make sure you go join the Facebook group. It's just a great community of people who also enjoy this wild show. This week, the password is
Wanchos Ponchos. Man, listen, it was a light week. That's all we could come up with. Okay, there wasn't anything spectacular. There wasn't anything like super noteworthy. So it's just gonna be Wanchos Ponchos.
What about the people out there that was like, that was a great password? You didn't even give them a chance to think it.
I know. I thought it was a great password.
Sure.
Yes. So make sure you join the Facebook group. We have a great time in there. And I know last week we teased a huge announcement. Now is the time for that announcement. Drum roll, please.
Dang it.
We are launching a Patreon.
Yay, let's go.
Let's go. And you may be saying, what? I've been getting this content for free. Exactly. You will continue to get this, our recaps of the episodes each week during the seasons on RHAP. That remains the same. If you're looking for the episodes, you'll find that on the Love at First Sight feed. You will find that on the RHAP YouTube channel. The purpose of this Patreon is for us to deliver bonus content. So, when you're saying, oh, I want y'all to podcast about this. I want y'all to podcast about this. We get DMs of people asking us to cover all these different shows, whether it's like, oh, I think I really want to hear your thoughts on, ranking these people, ranking those people. This is the point of the Patreon. So we are launching it today. And with this podcast, we are launching it. You can join and pay the monthly price that we have for the Patreon, which is just supporting us and our time and efforts in putting out this additional content. The first podcast is already on there waiting for you. It's one that we've been talking about forever, saying we would do in the off season. So we finally did it. Jason, what else do you have to add?
Well, something about the podcast that we came up with. It's a podcast people have been asking for. It's ranking the worst husbands. Now you might think they're going to do 10 of the worst husbands, right? No. We supersized this for you. We started with a pool of 23 husbands over the MAFS history, and we tier ranked them. We got 4 categories. We decided who's going to go in what category from bad to worst, and we ranked all that out. that podcast is already waiting for you when you sign to the Patreon today. Another note about Patreon while I'm talking about it. For Patreon, if you have an Apple device, you're going to want to sign up on a desktop or a laptop or anything besides your Apple device, because Apple has decided they're going to do a service charge every time you sign up on the app. So if you have an Apple device, do not sign up on the app. Sign up some other way so you can avoid that service charge if that is what you choose to do. If you are Aysha Welch level, then you might not care about the service charge. But if you do care about the service charge, that's how you can avoid it. And this Patreon is basically a way because we've had people tell us, we miss you guys in the off season. Like, you guys don't get together and talk about stuff on the MAFS off season. If there's no Love is Blind, if there's no Ultimatum, if there's no Perfect Match. So this is a way for you to get the continuous content of me and Aysha every week, because we're going to be releasing at least one podcast per week for the Patreon price of $5 per month. So that's what the Patreon is set at. And each week you will get at least one podcast. We can also pop in, on weeks when we have things to talk about, roundups of things we're watching, how we're feeling about certain things. So you get all that for just $5 a month. We have some stuff already planned out. So what we're going to do for our first kind of big task for the Patreon, we're going to put out a poll of all the recent seasons that me and Aysha did not cover. So that's going to be seasons 1 to 13. The seasons that me and Aysha did not cover together. So we're going to put out a poll, and depending on the votes, whichever season gets the most votes, we're going to cover that season. We're going to recap the old MAFS season. That's the first thing we're going to do. Of course, there's so much room for other things. We really want this Patreon to be interactive, so we want you guys to tell us what you would like to see us do as well. So all that's going to be taken into account. But for this first thing we're going to do, we're going to listen to your votes. Perfect Match Patreon and hands of the fans. If you watch Survivor, you maybe recognize that phrase.
Who's ready for a takeover?
Yeah. So we're going to get you guys' feedback and see what you guys want us to cover first. That's what we're going to do, and then from there we'll just we'll decide from there what else we'll be covering.
So like Jason said, tell us what you want to hear, just so not kidding. I
don't know what that is.
Mari does.
I know, but it's fine. I'm with you, girl. Because this is going to be, y'all need to go right now, sign up for this Patreon. Y'all going to love it. Tier listing is so much more superior than like ranking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that idea from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did tell you about that. It's just so much better. You know, it is. It truly is.
It provided some more robust conversation around the different husbands. So obviously there's potential there for now do wives, because going through that, we're like, there's some wives in here, man. There were some wives. But you can find this at patreon.com. So that's patreon.com/A-Perfect-Match-Podcast. And we're so happy to have you. Only $5 a month. And we're just very excited for the potential that this has, the opportunities for all of the great content that we can talk about. And it just lets us keep the good times rolling. We don't have to, you don't have to stop hearing our voices just because the season is over. So very, very excited about that. Hope y'all are too. Let us know in the Facebook group what you think about this. Give us your thoughts. Give us your ideas. And we're very, very excited about this new venture. So, hey, we actually did go into business together, Jason.
Hey, we did start a small business. For the polls for what you guys want to hear us talk about first, we'll probably be putting those out around midday Wednesday, just to give people an opportunity to not be spoiled on what we're doing. So we will be putting those polls out, and we'll leave that up for probably a few days to get the votes together so we can record our first episode and get it out in time for next week.
Yep, exactly. So very, very excited about that. And let's talk about the Where Are They Now? This was another one that I know they just wanted to put a bow on the season. But, if you have an episode like this, just make it an hour.
It really felt like a rehash of the reunion, to be honest. Just like I already heard most of the stuff at the reunion, so why am I hearing it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, this made me glad that I just listened to y'all talk about the reunion.
I
part 12
wish
and
I
part
had that
2.
option.
I know. And then watch this. I was like, oh, look at all the growth. Like,
Right.
I actually got to see it like once instead of like for the third time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, look at all these mature people running around here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
really letting me down with their maturity. I'm just like, I need some
Mhm.
mudslinging. I need some something to make this worth my while.
I don't
Yes,
know. After
exactly.
last season, I kind of like this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was really like, oh my God, look at Michelle. Okay, girl. I was like, I'm gonna stay off your neck today. I'm gonna get off your neck.
When she did that, Mari, you were the first person I thought of. And I said, I wonder did Mari accept that apology?
I sure did. I was like, okay, growth.
Oh my gosh. So we are now 13 months past decision day. We're 13 minutes after decision day. That would have been juicier.
That was the tattoo parlor.
Right.
Yeah.
So 13 months after decision day, we start out with MM and Brandon. They're making a cocktail. They name it he names it the Finders Keepers drink.
He's trying to copy off of After Party. He's trying to be Rudy. He's trying to get his cocktail going.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And so little Rico is walking around just happy. He got, his mom and his dad there now. And Brandon says congrats. Like, it's been a year. He said they've been through a lot. He's glad he took a leap of faith on her. She's like, we both took a leap of faith. He's just looking forward to doing life together, being her ride or die. She tells us in a confession like he's the best partner that she could have ever imagined. She never has to guess about him. He's officially divorced, but she is not yet. And if she weren't, if she was divorced, Echi wouldn't have had a single scene this episode. That's the only thing that kept him on this episode was this divorce conversation.
Yeah, I mean, Echi did some stuff. He had to talk to the boys. He had to talk to his family. He did some
friends
other stuff.
Friends at first sight. Yeah.
Friends at first sight. Yeah.
So, sorry, are they the only ones who are not officially divorced? Like, what is this?
So I think
Great question.
I think a little bit of what we learned from this, from the Juan and Carla stuff, which we'll talk about when that segment comes up, is I think they actually have to wait until the show has aired to officially divorce, which I think is because they don't want public records of the divorces so people could look it up and whatnot. So I think all this like, all it's like I have to wait and file my paperwork is because they really can't until the show has aired.
That would make sense why Love is Blind, like season 2, they didn't file for divorce until right before the after the altar.
Yeah. Oh, after the altar.
Yeah.
So I think that's why everyone's waiting and everyone's doing this whole I know it's been a year, but I haven't got divorced yet because they kind of can't.
Exactly.
That is some fine print you do not think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is some truly fine print you don't think about.
What are the odds I get divorced? Very high.
I mean, you're going on this show. This is going to work, right? So I'm not even worried about that. It's like a prenup conversation. Like, why would I even need to talk about prenup? We're gonna stay married, right?
I know it happens to other people, but it's not gonna happen to me.
I'm the special one. I'm the Camille and Thomas of the season. I'm guaranteed to be the Camille and Thomas.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
exactly.
Because I'm me. I'm gonna make it work. This is what MM said before she started the season.
Before she turned that corner down that altar.
So let's see. Okay, so he asked her if Pastor Cal has gotten back to her. And she's like, well, Pastor Cal said he is willing to like marry us, but we have to do counseling with him first. So which checks out to what Pastor Cal said at the reunion. They are working on baby Williams. He's like, thanks for putting me on that app so I know what type of mood you in. So I can figure out when I can score. We talked about practice, and then she didn't even get it.
I said,
y'all know this reference.
Not the old ass Allen Iverson quote. Like,
yeah.
who is still doing this?
But who doesn't know the reference also? Like,
very true. Very true.
Right.
But why does he have an app for tracking her cycle? That's kind of weird to me.
Well, she has an app and she shares it with him.
Still weird to me.
I mean, yes, but for couples who are trying to conceive, it's quite common.
Oh, I guess Mari's done that.
No. I have my app, but I didn't share. But yes, moral of the story, he didn't need to say it like that. Why are you always saying like the most cringy stuff?
Yeah, for sure. He's always being so weird.
He's like,
extra.
what's gonna make the episode?
Yeah, what's gonna make
maybe
people
if
go,
I clap my hands together?
What's really gonna make people go, ugh, this guy? This is what he does every time.
Yeah.
This really made me like, okay, just because I have a weird, creepy vibe from him doesn't mean that he is not the perfect man for MM. I'm trying to like be still optimistic about this pairing because she wants it so badly. He claims to want it so badly. And when she talks about what makes them work, I'm like, okay, I see that. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just because he's so boisterous, I think.
I think I would be more okay if it wasn't called out this episode as well from the other participants. Because if they can see it in person and I'm also matching that thought
and I'm way over here.
Yeah, I'm a little worried because when the boys got to go, like, yeah, I hope he still sticks around after the cameras leave. It's like, oh, if they're seeing it, I don't know.
So he is just trying to figure out when is the best time for them to continue to try. She appreciates him for caring this much. He said his goal is to make her a mother. And she said she's ready to start their family together. One thing they didn't really talk about, which is I know they've talked about like they've merged their families, but I'm really curious, like, what has it been like with her and his kids?
Me and you, like, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how he says he wants to be a good dad, and I'm like, what is your relationship like with your kids? Because I think that'll tell us a lot. His relationship with his kids and his ex-wife, I would really love to know that.
Yeah, because I mean, if he was staying on his sister's couch, I would imagine, are they sharing custody in a sense that they're going over to his sister's house when it's his turn?
Right.
Or is it like, oh, they're with their mom, and that's why he's so determined to make MM a mom?
I mean, now you're bringing him over to MM's place. That's Dad's new house. Dad's new house at MM's house.
Right.
That really nice big house.
So then we go on over to our other new couple, Madison and David. He's chefing it up in the kitchen. She says she can't wait for the commitment ceremony, which we find out is MM and Brandon's, which we know they just talked about it. So he's really happy. MM is finally getting what she wants. They're like, knowing they're going to see everybody else at this commitment ceremony. They're like, oh, are you nervous to see Michelle at all? He's like, look, I'm not wasting my energy on that. At the end of the day, I won. And he's like, are you nervous? Then the smoke alarm starts going off. So that's
the devil calling. That's hell calling. That should tell you something.
Yeah. She says she's not nervous. She's just indifferent. He's like, look, I don't. What?
No, keep going. I was just gonna ask. I was gonna ask Jason, how does he feel about the Madison now? Like, have your feelings towards them softened?
No. Why are my feelings towards them softened?
They're in it for the long run.
They are a couple of sin. They are a couple of sin.
Oh my God. Not you, fire and brimstone. What's going on over there?
No, I mean, and they grate on my nerves even more this episode because now they've done the full turn into making themselves the victims here. And it's so annoying the way they
Isn't
carry
that a wrestling term?
They're like, turning heel or something like that. Yeah, it's a little bit.
So that just annoys me to no end. At this point, they are the ones offended now about different things happening during the season. It's like, really, you're just gonna try and spin this with an occasional mention of, I know I didn't do things the best. Like, no, you did things the absolute worst. Like you didn't just you just weren't your best at times. You did one of the worst things you can do on this show.
I know I made a little oopsie, but
I know we
It was
didn't
a
get together the
year
way everyone
ago.
wanted us to get together. You mean the non-cheating way? Is that what you mean? So it's like it's the way they continue to carry themselves with like a lack of accountability is my issue with them.
See, I'm somewhere in the middle of y'all. Like I am now at the point where like I'm kind of how Alan explains it later in the episode. Like at least it wasn't like we're just hooking up and nothing came from it. At least they're like going the long haul. And, like,
yeah, I mean
exactly.
But we said during the season, like if David and Madison had gotten together the way they should have, I would be all for this couple. Like they seem to enjoy each other. They kind of deserve each other because we've figured out at this point they're both kind of trash. So let trash stay with trash. I'm all for that. But it's just like it's just the way everything went down is my issue.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I do like how committed they are. And let's be real, David, trash or no trash, David is batting out of his league with Madison. Like,
oh yeah.
Sure. And he knows
truly
it.
Absolutely is. And, exactly. And he knows it. And so he's willing to do everything to keep her. And
yes,
that is the one thing she was missing in her dating life. From what we understand, like again, this is a woman who a guy never opened a door for her, basically.
But she had that with Alan and didn't want it with Alan. But now,
well, this is a guy who opened the door for her that she's attracted to, Jason.
Yes.
So, like,
I think Asia might have said it like either last week or 2 weeks ago. Like she likes a project. She likes an F-boy that she can turn around, turn into a non-F-boy. It's what her Achilles heel has been in dating before when she's tried to do these reclamation projects and then didn't work. And now she's found one that she's hoping can work. She had something in Alan, but Alan wasn't an F-boy. Alan was already kind of fully formed, successful, so that wasn't really appealing to her.
And I completely agree with you. What I don't agree with you is I think it's going to work between the two of them. I think I think they are each other's worst dating mistakes, but in the right person. You know what I'm saying? Like I truly agree. I think Madison absolutely loves the project. I absolutely think she loves being able to upgrade David. And David, from everything that we've seen, is that right guy to want to be upgraded and who will treat her right, and on the flip side, David has just wanted a very pretty blonde woman. And he's got a very pretty blonde woman that will pay for things for him. Like, because we forget she has a similar job to Asia, does she not, Asia? Y'all have like the same. So she in this almost the same tax bracket as Asia. So that lady wealthy. She almost wealthy.
She can afford to have a kept man is basically what we're saying.
Exactly. They are just the right type of wrong for each other, and I'm for it. I just know. Yeah, I just wish she would have number one.
I wish she would have steered into that when doing the matchmaking process and not try and do something completely different than what she normally does. Because when she got what she asked for, it was just like, no, I'd rather go back to like my douche bro gym rats, but just a douche bro gym rat that treats me right. Like I wish she would have like just skeeted
like
from the
saying
path
like, look, that is my type. Like that's what I'm attracted to. So like I just need y'all to know. Yeah, but give me one with a couple of manners.
Yeah, just find a nice one, and we can go from there. It's just it's just the way that it happened. I do agree that they are a good couple. They look like they love each other, but I do wish we could have gotten some insight into any of their struggles during the last year. I know they want to
they would never
I know I know they want to present this like great front of like we're doing great, there's been no problems. I just would have loved to hear of any issues. Same thing with Brandon and MM, because they're both these couples are just like everything's great. Like I know it wasn't great. It's been a year. Something's had to have gone on.
Right. And it's funny too, because like some people may have even seen Alan as somewhat of a project, and Madison treated him as such, saying, oh, the teeth thing, oh, his clothes, she like pointed all these little things that she wanted him to improve on. But it's kind of like Alan is like throwing out the clothes in your closet, whereas like David is, upgrading your game room.
It's like getting your house.
Project you want, the project you want to do compared to the project that's like, well, I guess I'll say something.
Like we're not putting up a few curtains with Alan. Like Alan,
Yeah,
like,
it's like we just gotta mildly redecorate a room with Alan.
Right.
Like
You're
might have
gutting
to
a
move.
house.
We might have to move. This thing has asbestos, and we gotta do a lot of remediation for this. Like I don't know if we can fix this. I don't know if we can save this. Madison comes in like, nope.
She said, I got it. Actually.
I got it.
Yep.
That's
exactly
my
what I
favorite
love
thing
to do.
Yeah, give her a TV show on HGTV, remodeling men.
Yes. Yes. So we find out that he is going to meet her family. He is very excited because he's like, look, I want to tell your dad that I want to marry you. He jokes about, you think he's gonna ask me to take a STD test? Because he had asked Alan that.
He should more than he should have Alan.
And so, well, I mean, shoot, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's like Alan's little escapade.
Alan likes to experiment, so yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly. And so she says that she has not told her dad that they live together yet. But yeah, David all but says he's just gonna ask her dad for her hand in marriage, and she calls him something, and then he calls her muffin, and it's like I didn't need to be a part of this moment. I didn't need
Too much.
Oh my god! So we get a confession.
Till the day I die. Till the day I die.
We got a confessional. Well, they did say they love each other. We already knew this. We get a confessional from him saying like she completes him. She's the woman he's always wanted. He's never gonna give her up. He's gonna fight for her. He's like, man, it's just love. And it's so funny because it's like he's like word vomiting this out because he's wanted to say it since week 1.
But it is interesting to see. Yeah, it is interesting to see how David feels about Madison and his like really authentic outpouring of love compared to how he was with Michelle.
Yeah,
with Michelle, yes, she treated him horribly from day 1, but his whole thing of like, I really want to try, I really want to keep doing this it felt rehearsed and it didn't feel authentic. This David is head over heels in love, and you can tell.
Yeah, she's such a pretty girl. I love everything she's about. I just I love her so much. Never want to let her go.
He found his Barbie. Hey, Barbie.
Yeah. So they sit down on the couch. She brings up his living situation. She's like, or their living situation, because she's like, I know we don't want to live in a 1-bedroom for forever, or even in Chicago. He's like, look, I'm down for whatever. I will follow you anywhere.
Madison's like, perfect, exactly what I wanted.
Exactly what. Yeah, Alan has a high-paying stockbroker job. He couldn't do that. I don't know. I don't know what Alan does. I think it was something like that. I don't know.
Was he? Did he have what was a Jaguar?
Oh yeah, Alan rich.
Yeah,
Alan might be outdoing Aysha Welch. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So she was like, yeah, like, so Madison goes like the lazy mama boy that lives in his basement. That's the furthest thing from the truth. She wants to make sure we all know that she is determined to reframe his image to the audience. Because for one, she don't want people thinking that's the guy she's dating. Like she doesn't want like the guy who we perceive David to be. She doesn't see him as that guy, so she wants to make sure everybody else knows that he's not that guy.
He's not. I fixed him. He's not that anymore.
Yeah.
Literally, he's not in his parents' basement anymore. He lives in
right.
So what's the problem?
So David said that like she has always seen something in him that she's always seen through him, and she understands him. And she said it was really hard seeing how Michelle treated him, and she's just super protective over him. And she doesn't feel like that apology at the reunion was enough. And she thinks he deserves a more sincere apology from Michelle.
I said, the queen and king of inauthentic apologies coming here demanding an authentic apology. That is some gall. That is some nerve. That is some whatever you want to call it. I was like, wow, you out here demanding authentic apologies. That's what I'm saying. They're just trying to spin everything. Like, how dare she do that to you? Like, okay.
They really should just chalk up like, look,
Charge it
we
to the
both
game.
messed up. Yeah, charge it to the game and keep it pushing. Because y'all both demanding this. Like, Michelle doesn't feel like, because even David points it out. He's like, Michelle probably feels that way about our apologies. Like, y'all both
Yeah, he did say that.
offended the other. So just wipe your hands and walk away.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, GG's, everybody. Let's let's go. Let's break.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree with that because, again, they just because at the reunion, right? They show them the like. How do they watch the episodes? Like, I can't remember how they actually watch the episodes, but I don't know. I will never let this grudge go. I really hated how Michelle treated David those first few episodes. Like, I was so incensed at it. So again, if they just watch that, I can see why, you know, Madison is mad. But like you said, Jason, it's like that still doesn't excuse any of the things that you guys did. But in their minds, it does, because to them, they're not in real marriages. David felt like he wasn't in a relationship with Michelle, and Madison felt like she wasn't in one with Alan. She didn't tell Alan that, but you know, they in their warped minds, they don't feel like they didn't feel like they did anything wrong. And so it was a bit much. I was like, Madison, simmer down now. Like, simmer down.
Yeah. She be forgetting like how they got together.
She do. She do.
So reminds her, like, then she's like, well, I know I messed up.
she's like, how dare Michelle say that about you? You weren't even her husband. You were my husband. You got matched with me. So how dare she talk about you like that? Who is she talking about you like that? You were her husband.
Whole time she was saying these things to my man.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to my man.
How dare she?
And so, which is very interesting too, because she points out that like it wasn't how he had described it. So it's like she's getting this brand new look at like stuff that was happening when she wasn't around. And it's because he's like, he feels like he doesn't need an apology. He says he's just built different. He's not going to use the word hate. He just feels like everything happens for a reason.
You know, I'm built different. I don't need apologies. You know what I mean? I'm a tough guy. I don't need to be apologized to. Like, sir, like Mari said, y'all both effed up. So like, you are not owed an extra special apology here. Like,
not at all.
It made me roll my eyes. Just, okay.
So we cut over to Alan, who was with his friends. They're like, he tells them the experience is over. They're like, were you in love with Madison? He's like, look, I just had a lot of hope in the potential. And what hurt the most is that he was actually getting to know her. And they understand, or they're assuming that this happened like into the first week of being back in Chicago, which is like 2 weeks into the experiment. I
mean, didn't we kind of call? We were like, what happened? Like, I'm pretty sure we were on this podcast like, something weird just happened.
Right.
Well, I mean, that was literally the day after the wedding when Madison like switched up on him.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it wasn't. Remember, it was like their honeymoon was like, I mean, well, she was kind of harping on like the avocado shorts. But remember, once they got back to Chicago, and all of a sudden she was just like, you know,
well,
she left him some things.
Yeah, I mean, she left him on the first night that they got back to Chicago to hang out, probably in a group with David.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And because I remember we were talking about like, it's their wedding night went really good. And then slowly over the honeymoon, she kept like kind of just like picking at his clothes. And we're like, okay, you know, but then as soon as they got back to Chicago, she was just kind of like, this isn't, you know, the switch up was real for real. So I believe it. I believe that it was.
She said this thing with David is really taking off. That's what needs my attention.
I don't even think it needs to be like, because let's be real, she didn't fall in love with David in 2 weeks either. You know what I'm saying? I just think it was the giddiness of getting I think it's just the giddiness of getting to know each other, like Madison and David, which when you feel that giddiness toward each other, you kind of slowly close the door on, you know, other things. But yeah, that was, I was like, I was not surprised, but I was like, also like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
You know?
So Alan sees it as lost opportunity. He just won't get again. He's like, yeah, I've been seeing Val. It's only been about 2 to 3 months, which we found out through social media that the woman that they showed on the reunion was not the woman he's dating now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the woman he's dating now is Val or the one they showed on the reunion is Val.
I think Val is the woman he's not with right now because
okay.
The reunion person the reunion was only a month ago in this timeline, so they were probably still dating at the reunion. So I don't think this Val person is the person he's with right now.
Yeah, right, he said he was
okay,
right, as in March 2025.
Yeah,
but so are we saying that the picture that they showed at the reunion is of his girlfriend now, March 2025?
No, the picture on the reunion was Val.
Was Val. Okay,
here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Saying the picture on the reunion doesn't match his current. Okay. I'm here. It took me a minute, but I'm here.
Yeah, because he did say he was going to hard launch her. He did post a special little date night, and this woman is blonde,
right?
Eating oysters and stuff.
That's what So that was the picture that was what I knew. I was like, I could have sworn people were saying he had a blonde girlfriend, and then again, I didn't watch the reunion. But when everybody in Facebook group was saying, "Is she black?" I was like, "Wait, not the girl that they've been like kind of like obscuring." So
he did tag her. He blurred out or put a clown face or some type of face on her face in the video, but he did tag her.
Yes, that's the one I saw. Exactly,
so this is her. She kind of like Tori Hill.
Yes, that's the girl I saw. And
okay.
So yeah, and so when everybody was like, "Is that girl black on the reunion?" I was like, "The girl I saw was not black." So that makes sense.
So this girl's name is Miss Adams.
So Val is donezo.
Val's done. Val is done.
Yeah,
dang. That's unfortunate.
Okay. And he's in a car. I'm assuming with his new girlfriend and
Oh,
and their most Chicago Brandon. Jag, oh, MM's fiance. I was like, who is Brandon? New character. Completely forgot. Who the heck is Brandon? Of course, his Instagram name is Chicago Brandon. As if there's not other Brandons in Chicago.
Oh, that means I can check it. Oh, I was just looking for his Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Williams. He said husband to MM. Her name is MM Obat.
Girl, it's interesting. It truly does say husband.
And hers says wife. Jason, does your Instagram say husband in the bio?
I don't even think I have a bio on my Instagram.
Wow.
I don't touch my Instagram. So
I know. Yeah, you don't have followers, nor do you follow anybody. Not even me.
Correct.
Your business partner.
I do have wife in my bio. Yeah, but James, because people kept DMing me weird stuff. So
let me put that out there.
I am a wife, y'all. Stop sending me unsolicited pics.
Yeah. But it was them bots that think they can like love bot you. I'm like, no, thank you.
So you think putting wife in your bio is gonna stop
yes.
that?
Deterred immediately.
Haven't had a problem.
The bots like, hold up, y'all, hold up. She's a wife.
Wife alert, guys. This one's a wife.
All the bots back up, y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
His kids are all over his Instagram too. So that's
I didn't even notice. I'm gonna have to take a deep dive.
Kids with MM or kids not with MM? Do they have any with all them together?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not yet. Oh, so cute.
I see the kids. I see the kids. Yeah, so this is our Instagram corner. You could find these people on Instagram. Do a deep dive. Everybody's off private apparently because they always are on private during the season.
While we're here talking about Instagram, don't forget to follow our Instagram.
Please don't forget to follow our Instagram at a Perfect Match Podcast on Instagram. So really, where you could keep up with us during this off season, Instagram, Patreon, and the Facebook group.
Yep.
We're all over.
I think this man is just corny. He's just corny. It's fine.
Okay. So we find out he's dating Val for a couple months. Alan is dating Val for a couple months, but we don't think that's his current girlfriend. And his friend said, look, I told you if it wasn't going to work out, it wasn't going to be on you. And his friend Maximilian, who hasn't said a word this whole time, he says that Alan is effervescent.
The one word he says is a really nice big word.
Yeah. Michelle goes to visit Carla. Carla has an apartment, ladies and gentlemen. So if you remember, Carla was living in a storage unit.
Carla says, see,
I like how
I got it. I got an apartment. Look,
yep.
My apartment is even better than Wancho's apartment. So eat that, Wancho. So like, take that, my guy. Take that, my dude.
But she's like, I need to make sure that everybody knows I have an apartment. They're like, okay, well, we could send Michelle over. She was like,
fine,
I guess.
If she's the only one available, I'll take it. Like, we could film it at a coffee shop. We could film it at Michelle's. Like, no, you're gonna come over
my apartment.
You're gonna come here to this apartment, so I can show you that I got an apartment. So
yeah,
that's an option.
So they're opening a bottle of wine. They're using an electric wine opener. They made me nervous because you use it wrong, your cork could get stuck. I love an electric wine opener.
Do you open wine the same way you do cider? Is there a difference?
Well, cider is usually in a can, whereas wine has a cork in a bottle, and then I use my electric wine opener and just. Well, nice.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Screw top wine for me, baby. We cheap over here.
We don't all have a vineyard in our houses like Aysha Welch does. We all can't go get a good vintage down in the wine cellar, and have a sommelier talk about the year and the bouquet of the wine. We all don't have that.
Well, I have right now what I'm working on. Now that I'm done with 75 Hard and I can continue to casually partake and enjoy wine, enjoy cider, enjoy alcohol. I have a wine advent calendar. So it's like 24 bottles of wine, but it's like a half bottle. So it's like it's like about two glasses worth, basically.
As the philosopher Chris Williams once said, you are a drunkard.
No, what was it? No, I lost it. Like Family Guy was The Simpsons. No, South Park is like it's a flight of wines. Like it's a wine tasting. It's fancy.
Exactly.
We're gonna be getting slosh sound sophisticated. That's what we're about to do right now.
A flight.
Yeah.
Carlos says, based on the reunion, seems like everybody's in a good place. They go sit down on this white couch with their red wine, and Michelle is like, wait a second, I'm kind of nervous sitting over here like this, which as she should be. That's a risky game to play. She tells Michelle she moved into this apartment back in June, and so she's been living there about 6 months at this point. Michelle reflects on her experience on the show. She said she would have changed how she acted at the very beginning because watching it back has been very cringy. So she was cringing with us.
I love that for her.
Listen, we love a self-aware queen. We love it.
Yeah,
we do. And she looks great.
She does. She does look great. And so Michelle said she definitely was not ready for this. And then she asked Carla, like, okay, what about you? Like, do you think you need a guy who's like as free-spirited as you? Carla said, absolutely not. I went on a date with a guy who was free-spirited. I said, what's your plan? She said, one of us got to have a plan and it ain't going to be me. So
again, self-aware queen. Love it.
Right. She basically learned that like she like wants a guy like Juan that is kind of like the yin to her yang,
but not too much like one.
Right.
Someone that actually likes her.
That likes her.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly. Baby,
Yeah, baby steps.
Like, we're picking at crumbs here. Thomas and Camille. We jump over to Thomas and Camille. They go and visit Thomas's twin Tim's house.
Say that
5 times fast.
Jinx.
Okay, Jason, you're up first.
Huh?
Thomas's.
Oh,
You want what?
Thomas's
Thomas's twins Tim's house. Thomas's twins Tim's house. Thomas's
No.
twins Tim's house. Thomas's twins Tim's house. What? I don't even know what I said at that point.
Thomas's twin
Twin
Tim's house. Yeah.
Mari said too much. Mari said too much wine. Mari said too much wine to do that.
Way too much wine.
Thomas's twin.
This is you're 2 seconds away from making me.
Who was the one on the show, Mari? Thomas or Tim?
Thomas's. That I do know.
How many Thomases do you see when you look at the screen, Mari?
One time. Oh wait.
Right.
That's a trick question.
That's a trick question.
One Tim.
Right. So they all go in and sit down. It's Thomas, Camille, Tim and his wife. Who was the other person there?
So the Chirons said that it was there were two people there.
Kid?
Was that Tim's kids?
Those are Tim's kids. Kids? Junior and Justice. Or
we listen. We forget that Tom and Tim are 42 years old.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. So they could have some kids that are like 17, 18. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I missed that crime. Completely.
But those kids, like, I know that genetics. When you get down to like a quarter black, which is what Tim and his wife would produce, it's like those kids are white. It's like
yeah.
I was shocked because I was like, they have kids that old, but then you forget that Thomas and Tim are 42. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, and Tim said like, we need you to beat I think her name was Justice to the punch. Like he's like, my daughter might have kids before you.
Right.
Yep.
So Thomas thanks them for accepting Camille into the family. Tim was like, yeah, my boy is glowing. He asked about the swag. And Camille's like, his swagometer is off the charts. And so Tim asked about, okay, what's the future plans with, with kids? And Camille says they both want to start a family when the time is right. And he just wants to make sure like Camille is established in her career. And we get a confessional from Tim saying that Camille is just a well-prepared person for marriage. Then we get a very questionable segment of Tim and Thomas outside. They take a glass of whiskey out there to talk. And Thomas says that they get along really well. They started as strangers, but it was a challenge for him at the beginning. But right now he feels like he's waiting on that passionate, like love phase. Like, and Tim's like, are you not getting basically like, are y'all not having sex? Mm-hmm. And Thomas laughs. He's like, no, we're very sexually active. I just want to get to a place where I can't live without the person. And like, there's no question that you love them.
At that point, I'm like cocking my head to the side, like, Tom, you okay?
Thomas, what are you talking about?
Don't take this away from us, Thomas. Don't take this away
right now. Stop.
Please tell us what you're trying to say.
You are the couple of the season. Yes, they are trying to pass all these other couples, but you are the couple of the season that did it right. Don't do this to us, Tom. Don't.
I was like, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't know what he's saying.
No. It's production. Right. It's production. Production making him say that.
It's the whiskey.
Production's making him say that. There's no way he actually thinks that. That's not what's happening.
Right. And so Tom was like, okay, like, do you like know without a shadow of a doubt, like this is the person you want to be with? And Thomas says he's working towards that.
Thomas,
what are you talking about?
Don't make me get a plane ticket to Chicago. Don't make me do it because I'll do it. I'll get paid for it. Don't make me do it. I'll come up there.
I'm just like, wait a second. What's happening here?
I'm trying to recall their conversation in the jacuzzi tub at the retreat about kids.
He was just nervous about like, he's nervous to be a parent himself because you're so responsible for that child's life.
Right. So that's why it feels like there might, I don't know, maybe there's something unsaid about this baby conversation here. Cause that's where it feels like, cause later in the episode, they say, I think he says like, we need to make sure we're on the same page about our future. And I'm like, what's happening? It almost feels like they swapped, almost like Thomas is like, maybe I'm just implying, but it feels like Thomas wants the baby sooner than Camille, because now, Camille's talking about she wants to be ready and stuff like that. Did y'all think that, or is that just me, or was I just overthinking it?
I think what I got from their conversation was that they are both on the same page. I think they both have a timeline of like a year to 2 years, but they're not like setting that in stone. But I think they're just kind of saying the thing out loud of like, yeah, but we got to be more established. Like, especially it feels like Thomas has his career and that's like he's fine with that. But we got to, like, Camille apparently wants to be like a real estate mogul or whatever, so they're going to work on that. I don't feel like there's much difference between the two of them and how they're feeling about kids. I don't feel that way.
Do we know what Thomas does for a living? I just
it's something in
we don't know what half these
I
people...
believe he's a finance bro. I think.
Yeah, that tracks. And so that was just a very nerve-wracking conversation, but we're just gonna forget about it.
It didn't happen.
Guys, they just needed a storyline, and that's what production made them do. Like, we're not even gonna entertain what he just said.
We get Echi FaceTiming his brother Imarogbe. They have very African names, or I guess even Echi, it said like Nigerian names specifically, but he said they're not Nigerian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
As somebody who has experience in that, it just be like that sometimes.
And so Echi says at the reunion he just tried to be as easy and dramatic-less as possible.
Did you though? Did you? Because I recall
besides like storming out, I was so dramatic-less.
Besides refusing to shake someone's hand and walking off like a child, I was very mature.
So easy. He said he was like, you know what? During the reunion, I realized all the guys are cool. Like he said 4 or 5 of the guys showed up to his art show. I'm sorry, there are only 5 total.
Well, right. I think he said 3 or 4.
Okay.
But to me, it's like, so is it 3 or 4? Because I feel like you would remember if every other guy showed up in the process. But
right.
Like, I feel like you would know if there was one missing. So I feel like you would.
He's like, I just looked and I saw the guys. I don't know.
They were in a group. I didn't count, so it was either 3 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah. Real-time update from my mom. She's watching this episode and she said, this episode helps me realize ... I am tired of these people.
But here's the thing though.
Yes, mama.
This season though, they started beating the dead horse. Like we started getting that feeling later than normal though. Like because all the drama happened in the back half of the season, like
perfect.
We didn't spend 5 episodes being like, oh my god, they're talking about this again. Like we didn't start feeling that way until the start of the reunions. Where it's like, okay,
it was a delayed feeling. You're right.
Yeah, and I think if they
normally
actually
it's halfway through the season, and we're like, really?
Yeah, but because all the drama happened later, it didn't feel like they were doing that because there were questions to ask. There were things to solve. It was their fault that at the reunion they weren't being more forthcoming. That was their fault. So it really started feeling like beating a dead horse when the 5th time Kevin asked for a timeline. I'm just like, all right, they're not going to tell you.
Move on.
Yeah. And so he says he said that the other guys did not get to know him because he didn't want other people in his marriage or he didn't get to know them as well because he didn't want to be in their marriages. He didn't want people in his marriage. And
which did not start until he started doing terrible stuff because at the honeymoon he was all about other people being in his marriage.
Sharing.
Yeah, he was all about giving advice. He was all about like, oh, here's what you got to do because I've been married for approximately 1 day and I'm awesome at it. But it was not until he started having problems. He was like, you know what? I don't want nobody in my marriage. I'm not gonna talk to y'all about your marriages. Yeah, because your marriages are going not great.
Yeah.
It's like, do you even watch the show, Tamar? Like, this is what you do. For the past 10 plus seasons, if you get married at first sight, you're going to be around all the other couples. They're going to want to be in your business. Like, duh.
The producers
Yeah.
really make you be in each other's business. There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
His brother updates him on his life. He says the family's good. He said Echi thought he would be the first one with a wife and kids, I guess because he's older. He does have DJ, and his last name, I guess, is Ajore or something like that. Couldn't find anything by that name.
Couldn't find a thing.
Tried to see, because Echi loves a good self-promotion.
Yep, couldn't find a thing.
Jason, I know you ordered his book. Did it come in yet?
Hasn't come in yet. Definitely charged it to the Patreon account. So you're gonna see.
Yeah, I was wondering why we were in the negatives.
Yeah, we haven't even started yet. I'm still charging to the Patreon company card. So I ordered a few copies so that we could do a nice video of burning all the books. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, a freaking giveaway. Listen, let's help Echi. Let's buy some books. No, I'm not even going to suggest that because I might get in trouble for like false advertising or something.
Yeah. Flag this video.
Yeah, I don't want to say I want to do a giveaway because then we won't get any people signing up because they want.
I was going to say, why would I want? What incentive is that? I don't want letters to my future wife that I didn't
future
give
woman
to my
crush
wife.
Wednesday. That no one does anymore.
You sign up for the Patreon. We promise not to send you Echi's book.
Ooh.
I can't promise you what'll happen if you don't sign up.
Not to...
You might get a mail if you don't sign up. So you better run to that Patreon.
Okay. So random. Could you imagine? What is this? How did y'all get my address?
Listen, I got to ship the labels already. I just need to see who's going to be signed up for this Patreon. So know what not to send out. Okay.
He tells his brother he's enjoying coming home to Me, Myself, and I. He found a divorce lawyer. He said found love. So he's finally admitting that this isn't like going to be over soon or whatever. He's finally not dismissing this relationship.
I'm glad he didn't say she thinks she found love or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
She want to get her little marriage going or whatever,
Oh, the shade.
We meet up with Carla, who's with her sister. She's like, I usually like to start out these meetings with like, how are you feeling? And what are your intentions for this meeting?
This was so weird. I was like, what is this? Is this official business mode, Carla here?
Yes.
It's like, usually I start these meetings asking what your intentions are and what are you going to be doing. It was like, and then her sister is playing along. She's like, well, I just wanted to say that my intention is I'm very excited to tell you about the rest of the year we have planned. I was like, what is this? Like, what is that?
Come to find out, she is starting Juancho's Ponchos with Juan. Juan shows up, and they're here to talk about it a little bit. Juan forgot his laptop, and she's like, "Oh, how you gonna forget your laptop at our business meeting?" He compliments her sister's penmanship, and she's like, "Well, what about mine?" And he looks at her writing. He's like, "Oh my gosh, it's nice. You're telling me y'all were married for 8 weeks? You never saw her handwriting?"
He was not interested at all.
Right. Never left a be right back note on the fridge.
Yeah.
So he said he made a logo, which is him with his like handlebar mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna have ponchos, and then the more expensive option are gonna be the ponchos that turn into bags. And Juan is blown away because he didn't know they could do that. And in the confessional, we hear him. He says that he thinks their business has a greater chance than their marriage.
Well, he was wrong on two fronts then. So.
Right.
Well, I think this would be a good time to bring up the Juan and Carla drama that's been popping off online. They decided not to give us any drama throughout the season, but waited until the show ended to actually give us some actual drama to talk about. Now, if you go to our Facebook group, there is like a really good record of like everything that's happened so far. You can kind of follow it along. But I think this mostly started when Juan noticed an account on Instagram or Twitter.
Yes. Instagram.
That basically he, for some reason, surmised came from Carla and her family.
Oh,
now,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no real proof that this is from Carla or her family. I think the Twitter avatar or headline says something like, I'm healing and he is balding, I think is what the little headline was. So I think Juan, I didn't I didn't even see any posts from this account. I didn't see anything going on with this account. But Juan is taking this to be a threat against him, and he took to his own accounts to talk about this account and to talk about Carla and her family messing with him and talking about him. And so off that video, Carla's sister commented under the video and said, "That's interesting, Juan. Why don't you tell everybody why you actually didn't want to get with Carla?" Intimating that there is some big like bombshell secret out there that we don't know. This sets Juan off completely. Juan's out talking about Carla and her family are blackmailing him into because he had something that he did not want to be shown on the show, and Carla agreed not to talk about it, and this is a violation of that NDA, which no one actually signed an NDA saying that she wouldn't reveal this about you. That's not actually going to happen,
right?
And he is this like on this "woe is me" video talking about the fact that he's being blackmailed by Carla and her family. And he's kind of defending himself in a weird way because he's like, the only thing I did was say why I wasn't interested in Carla, and her family took that to be, something that was not good. I just said what I felt on air. Nothing I said was not aired on the show. Blah 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 blah. He's making it so much worse because he's now talking about all the things he does not like about Carla in this video. Yeah. Cut to.
He says he's just not attracted to her. Is what it boils down to. She's not his type.
Yeah, and then he like talks so much about like, and I helped her move into her storage unit after she left the show and blah blah blah. He's basically just really kind of like putting all of Carla's tea on air. Like he's basically saying all the things that are wrong with Carla. He's like, we just didn't physically vibe. I just didn't find her physically attractive. It's like, why would you say this? Especially when you are like trying to do this, like to say, don't blackmail me. You're now adding more fuel to the fire. So this triggers Carla into revealing text messages, revealing receipts which really weren't receipts. It reminded me of Madison's armpit text messages on Love is Blind. So all of that, the latest thing is Juan has come out with another video. Again, pretty much saying the same thing, that Carla is blackmailing him. He gives us the definition of blackmail in this video, according to the Oxford Dictionary. And I think Juan is doing himself a way worse disservice because he is basically teasing us that there is some secret. The only person that told us about a secret is Juan. Like no one else has said anything about a secret but Juan. Juan is basically like, I have this big secret that I talked to Carla about. And he mentions in the video, like there was something that was said at the wedding that he did not want revealed. So he said
he was in the car with like 2 Kinetic members and Carla and revealed it. And the Kinetic members have been so professional and haven't said anything. Where are they talking about y'all?
Meanwhile, Carla has not said a word about this man's secret. Carla did a whole little interview talking about different things, never said anything about his secret, never once threatened to reveal his secret as far as we know. But Juan is out here basically telling us his business without telling us his business. So it's a wild ride. Like I said, if you go on the Facebook group, you'll see it. I'm sure if you just go anywhere on the internet, you'll see it. But it's a mess. It's a whole mess. Why did you wait until after the show? Yeah, why did you wait till after the show to give us some mess?
Because every time he sat down in his car to talk, I was like, "Oh Lord,
here we go again."
Like we don't want to hear it. Like it's I don't know.
He claims this is his last time speaking on it.
I hope so.
If Carla comes out and is like, "Screw it, here's the little secret," he thinks he's gonna say something else.
Of course, and nobody asked you to speak in the first place, Juan. So this is my last time speaking. Like, okay, like no one asked you the first time. So,
Aysha, I think you're right when you said Juan just doesn't know the internet. I think that's like, he doesn't realize like anybody could have made that random profile and said random things. Like,
it got the nerve to be creating an app.
I mean, part of me wonders,
don't you know the worst place to try to get some signal is the airport?
Right.
Last thing I'm doing when I'm in the airport is downloading an app.
Was that a dating app, right? Or is it a friend
networking to connect with other people waiting at the airport?
Yeah, part of me wonders if this is all a big ploy to, advertise Wancho's Ponchos. Like, I'm pretty sure, in a couple of days, it's like, when you buy 2 Wancho's Ponchos, we'll also tell you Juan's big secret.
The secret is you can get 20% off on a second poncho.
Exactly. But yeah, that was the Juan and Carla mess that I'm glad we waited an extra week, because then we got the extra Juan.
Yeah, the extra Juan video. And the Carla podcast.
Yeah.
So he says he does tell Carla and his sister, he's like, yeah, I'm dating someone. And Carla's like, Juancho's in love. And Carla says she's been learning a lot about herself. We learned that Juan's girlfriend has been doing lashes for 10 years. And so we get a confessional from Carla that's like, well, clearly he is into someone who's has a more laid back lifestyle. Since his girlfriend is also in the beauty industry. So,
yeah.
I don't know what that was supposed to prove, but okay.
Right.
I think all it proves is that he was not attracted to Carla.
Exactly.
It like every excuse in the book. Oh, she wasn't grounded. She this, she that, she this and that. Okay. Juan. Echi finally meets with the divorce lawyer, Brandy. He explains he got married to a stranger at the altar. He said he tried to be as vulnerable as possible, and it just didn't work.
Right. And Brandy, who, does the best to try and be like, oh my God, you got married at first sight? What?
Yeah. What is that? He said they were married for a year and in a couple months, and she's like, do you think it'll be contested? He's like, it will not be contested. He said,
I believe so. Like, he just kept saying stuff. Like, I was with the lawyer, like, so that's a yes or no.
Right, yes or no. Like, you don't think
it's like, Brandy, you don't know the half of it. You don't know half of this man talking in circles. Like, yeah, we had the same thing all season, Brandy. Don't worry about it.
So she's like, well, have y'all talked about it? He's like, well, we had a conversation where not so legal documents were presented.
as if he was the one presenting non-legal documents. Be upfront, Echi. You were the one that presented the divorce paper that didn't count.
It's like we walked into a room and there was a paper on the table. And then we said,
who did it?
Should we get divorced?
Should we sign this?
Yeah, right.
We don't know who put it there, but it was there.
The paper just happened.
You're right. He says, like, she's moved on. She is engaged. And she's like, Brandy's like, to someone else?
Brandy's clutching her pearls, like, oh my God, does she know she's still married technically? Like,
right. So she's like, okay, y'all. He says they're not on speaking terms. She's like, okay, so you'll need to discuss, need to have legal counsel in between you two. He's like, I just wanted to ask, do you have any advice? She's like, just make sure you have a support system. What you need advice for, Echi? This was the least relationship of the 5.
It was just like, what is this for? Why is this man asking this divorce lawyer for advice? And like, just forget about the fact this is a completely artificial conversation, because as we described already, you have to wait to get divorced later. Production helps you with the divorce, as we learned from the Juan and Carla text exchange, where Juan wanted to get the divorce started early, and Carla was like, no, let production handle it, because that's what they want us to do, is let production handle the divorce stuff. So all of this is just nonsense.
Yes. We get a confessional from Echi. He's feeling hopeful. He hopes the next folder he hands is as real as it can be.
He's like, I'm really happy that Brandy helped guide me through this. Like, is this an ad for Brandy now? This is what we're doing? In the Houston area, right. call Brandy's Quick Divorce for all your divorce
the divorce
needs.
Lawyer.
Quick annulments.
Yeah.
She is licensed in Illinois and Texas.
All your reality TV divorces, get them through Brandy.
Right. Then we hop on over to such a fun segment. We have a game night with the only 2 couples that made it out of this. I said, where was MM and Brandon's invite?
Yep, they are about as much as an official couple as David and Madison are.
Exactly.
That's so unfortunate. That is very true.
Yes. Camille said they've been settling in. Thomas, he says there's 2 couples that came out of this. Madison said in confessional said that in a confessional, Madison said that Camille and Thomas have always treated them with such kindness and respect, so they've gotten close to them. She sees Camille at least once a month.
Listen, everyone can't be perfect, right? And Tom and Camille can't get everything right. You know what I mean? Can't be perfect.
I mean, this honestly just goes to show you it's just like David was the person that people connected with. Like he just was. Like everybody loved David. David was the glue to the group.
I mean, when the glue to the group, I don't know if we go that far. The glue to the group.
Everybody
he was the heart
David.
And soul.
Thank you. That's like
y'all fell for the Kool-Aid now.
I'm kidding.
Mari wasn't. Mari was like, yeah, Aysha, the heart and soul.
No, I was laughing at Aysha too. But like everybody said, like that's why Alan's more mad at David. Like David was friends with everybody. So when that whole stuff happened, they had to be like, oh man, what David did was wrong. So I guess we have to be on Team Michelle. Like when they forced Tom to say Team Michelle. But when it comes down to brass tacks, people hang out with David and Madison more because they like David. Like,
yeah, I feel like they are bringing in Madison because they like David.
Listen, not Queen Carla. Carla was like, no, I'm gonna hang out with Michelle. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all do your thing
against
over there.
Her will.
Against her will. Exactly.
No.
But yeah, I can see the fact that David and Madison are probably fun to hang out with as friends. Now, Camille needs to make sure that Tom stays by her side at all times when Madison is over there. Where are you going? I'm gonna go get Madison some wine. I'll come along too. I'll be right there.
It's not you I don't trust, it's her.
Yeah, she the one. She the one. Okay. Always make sure you got your eyes on Tom when Madison's around. Okay. But yeah, I can see the fact that David and Madison are probably like really fun people. They're fun to hang out with, fun to have fun with. And also, as I've said before, like it's been a year for them. It's only been like a few weeks for us. So it's still fresh for us. For them, it's been like it's been over a year at this point. So I can see where they're just like, that's water under the bridge. That happened so long ago. Let's find our way back to being friends and whatnot. So I understand it from that viewpoint for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So they play charades and then it's over.
Nothing to be said there.
Nothing happened.
To be said there. Y'all know charades. So they sit down. David tells them, look, y'all are stuck with us. Y'all are friends for life. And Camille asks, like, is there anything, like, now y'all been together for a year, is there anything y'all want to improve on? David says he wants to just like have the it's just us mentality. And Madison wants them to continue to challenge each other. And Thomas is like, yeah, the goal is just like, don't let this experience just be like, yeah, we said yes on decision day, but continue to just get better and better. And then we get a confessional from Thomas saying this is the healthiest relationship he's been in. So Camille has also said that. So that's very good that it's mutual. And Madison tells Thomas and Camille they've been so open-minded and so kind. And Camille says, look, it's not easy showing up each and every day. So I really appreciate that about me and Thomas's relationship. We get another segment with dress shopping. Brandon is recording it. He likes all the dresses. He says she just looks beautiful in all of them. This is for their commitment ceremony. He calls her a black Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Did you catch him saying, hey, baby?
Hey, baby. Yeah, I didn't catch you.
Why are you trying to turn this into the New Orleans season?
Stop trying to take David's catchphrase, Brandon. We see you. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. So now we have Juan and the boys getting together, hanging out. Well, kind of, sort of. This is all taking place in Juan's apartment. He's making lasagna for the guys. We also talk a little bit about Juan and his new woman. They've been together for almost a year. So like he was very quick after all the Married First Sight stuff to get involved because they're almost already at a year.
I'm like a year.
Yeah, they're at 14 months, I believe we saw. It was 14 months from the retreat. Yeah, very quick, Juancho. Very quick.
Very, very quick. So yeah. Ike, it was just Tom there, Tom with Juan before. Ike shows up. They talk about Ike's art show. Ike says he got a little emotional that all the guys were there because he doesn't have a lot of friends in Chicago. I was like, I wonder why. I wonder why. Because I mean, you've been in Chicago for a little bit now, and you still don't have friends.
Yeah, to be so in the art scene and you have not a single friend.
It might be you, Ike. It might be you. Alan show up. He daps up all the guys. They all hug. It's mentioned that David is on his way, and right after that, Alan says, "Actually, you know what? I gotta go pretty soon."
Because of my girlfriend, the thing, I had nothing to do. I gotta go. Yeah,
stuff and things. No exact reason. I just am not gonna be able to stick around for long. When did you say Dave was coming? Right before he gets here is when I have to leave. Just coincidentally. Just coincidentally.
Alan didn't even take his shoes off. He didn't sit down.
He didn't take his coat off.
You said who's coming? Oh, okay. I'm just chill for a minute. I'll take off. Okay. I do wonder if that was like a behind the scenes thing of like Alan's just like, I'm not gonna really be shooting like a lot of scenes with David. Like I'll be in the same room with him at MM's thing, but I'm not interested in like hanging with David a lot because I don't think that was a coincidence of being like David and Alan showing up in shifts, right? Like Alan leaves, David enters. I don't think that was a coincidence.
We're gonna tell Alan 8 and we're telling David 9.
Yeah.
It felt like David was like outside.
Like, no, David, you gotta wait. He's like, why? What's the problem? Me and Alan are boys, right? Me and Alan are boys. They're like, no, you're still not boys. You're still not friends. Like, will you shake my hand now at least? Like, we're not doing that.
Please shake my hand.
Tell me it's okay, bro. Tell me it's okay. Yeah, so Ike talks about the fact that he's taking a hiatus from dating. He really wants to just clear his mind from this experiment. I mean, it's been over a year. I think it's okay for you. I think your mind's pretty clear. Feels like your mind was clear for a lot of it. He says, he apologizes for his lack of presence with the other guys during the experiment. He says, I'm just a really private person. Like, okay, sure. Alan tells like, yeah, you did kind of shut down. But Alan kind of gives him an out. He's like, but how do you handle something you've never experienced? It's a lot to navigate.
I'm like, you giving him an out. Y'all all never experienced this.
Can you imagine chasing a TV show around to multiple cities for multiple years, then getting on it and acting like a complete child? Like,
yeah, you did all this to do this. Like, what was the point of this? I maintain that I thought he was going to come in and be like the model husband, but he did not realize what he was putting himself into.
He wrote a book. What more? He
thought he was already an expert. He was like, I'm gonna be on this season, and they're gonna ask me to be an expert for the next season.
He came with that. He maintained that energy for a week, and then he realized, oh shoot, what am I doing?
Yep. So Alan then mentions, actually, I gotta go in about 10 minutes. You said David's on his way in what, 11 minutes? In 10 minutes, I gotta go. So they ask Alan about David, and Alan says, there is no real relationship with Madison or David. I hold no animosity. He says, I am happy that this seems to be like a real thing, and it wasn't just a quick fling. That she didn't just like totally blow my life up for a quick thing. Alan says that handled everything really well, except the part where she shitted on me the entire season. I was like, okay, I wouldn't say she handled anything well. But I see where you're going. I see what your point is.
Because even with that, okay, we have that isolated. What else did she handle well?
Yeah, we do that. Take me through that logic there. You got.
Yeah, what's your thought process here?
Yeah. Alan then takes off. He's like, all right, see y'all later. They really sold this in the previews as if David comes in and then Alan's like, all right, gotta go. But no, they made sure it was in shifts. Alan leaves, and then almost immediately David enters the scene. David shows up. They're having lasagna. They talk about the fact that they talk about Emma's commitment ceremony. Ike did not know. They have to update Ike. There's a commitment ceremony. He's like, oh, really? He's like, you know what? Cheers to them. He's like, on another note, I met with the divorce lawyer. So I can't wait to let MM do what she wants to do. It was like, okay.
Take a shot every time you hear Echi talk about meeting this divorce lawyer.
Yeah, for real. I mean, at least he wasn't super shady about it. So that's one thing. They all talk about say what? They all talk about hoping that Brandon is in this for the right reasons because MM really wants to be in a committed marriage. They just hope that when the cameras shut off, he stays in this for the right reasons.
And I'm like, hold on. The camera's been off for a year. Y'all think he would have stuck around just to get on the reunion in the Where Are They Now episode?
With the way he acted on the reunion, I think he might have, because he was ready for his close-up on the reunion. Like he was prepared for this. So I don't know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, Juan talks about the fact that Brandon is coming around more, and he knows that they all got into this like to get married at first sight, but they all had experts kind of guiding them. And this situation is a little different. Brandon and MM met, and they kind of just jumped into this after one date. Noticeable. I don't know if y'all clocked it. There was a noticeable cough from Echi. It sounded like it was coming from Echi. I'm just wondering, did this happen the way we think it happened, or is this like a little timeline fraud?
What do you mean?
Because they say this, and Ike's like, oh, yeah, sure, after one date. Did MM and Brandon actually get together before it was shown on the show? And Ike knows this, and Ike's like, yeah, okay, sure. I don't know.
That would make me feel better.
Who cares? Yeah.
I'm like,
I know.
I'm still holding out hope that he's an old fling or something. Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Y'all known each other for 20 years. This is the first. Well, I don't know, because he was married for 10 years. I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So I it was a noticeable loud call from Echi. It was like, that sounded like something. I don't know. It sounds like Echi has some things to say. Has some things to get off his chest. I don't know. The next thing we get is the girls meeting up to make candles. In confessional, Michelle talks about.
I'm gonna do that so badly. Sorry.
Really?
Like, yeah, I started Google. I was like, where can I go and make candles?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that. Have you done it, Asia?
I haven't. I want to. Okay. Though. Yes.
I thought
women, am I right? In a confessional, Michelle talks about feeling a little bit of anxiety being around Madison, but she knows once the cameras are gone, she won't ever have to see Madison again. They start making the candles. Carla calls it a mindful meditation experience. You will remember this every time you light this candle, and you'll think about where you were and what you were doing. In a confessional, Carla says she hopes this puts everyone in a better place, and they can all end the year in a good place. They start making the candles. Everyone kind of goes down what they're calling their candles and what is in their candles. MM's candle is called Commitment Day. It's got clean scents for a fresh start. Camille named hers Warm Evening Love. The scents are warm and sweet. Michelle named hers Fresh Start with fresh scents. Madison named hers Drunken Love, surprising no one, and says that the smells are musky and masculine. I was like, ugh. That's kind of
smells like definitely body wash.
Smells like David. Hey, every time you light the candle, you can hear, "Hey, baby." That's what you hear every time you light the candle.
Axe and whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. And menthols and Camel Lights or whatever David smokes. Carla named hers PP for something power. I'll let you fill in the blank.
Pretty?
Yeah, sure. There you go. Because they are all strong and feminine women, but sometimes you need to let those masculine scents come out when the time is right. Carla, because listen, Carla's a sound bath. I don't know what you would call it, a sound bath like person
technician.
There you go. And we didn't get a sound bath really all season. Now it's like, wait a minute, y'all. Like the production's like, we didn't have a sound bath this season. How is that? Carla, please grace us with your sound bath love. And Carla does it right on time. She does the little rain beads. Yeah. She does a little circling of the bowl.
So made Carla... my dogs bark like crazy. As soon as the dong, they say, somebody's at the door.
Oh God. So Carla, while she's leading them on this sound bath journey, asked them all what they want to release today. MM wants to release her past. Camille wants to keep releasing how she thinks things should go. Michelle wants to release her control and the notion of perfection. Madison says she wants to release resentment, especially about some certain person that put down my man in a certain experiment. I'm not going to name names, but she might be in this room right now. I want to release my resentment from her and give that person or those people that may or may not be named Michelle grace. It's like, okay, very targeted.
Listen, I will say it is masterful how they are existing in these shared spaces without looking at each other, without saying a word, and hey, it's working.
It is. In confessional, Madison admits that she could have handled things differently. She could have done things different, and she can't control how Michelle thinks. She wants to have empathy for Michelle, and she hopes Michelle heals herself. It's like, girl, you just don't think you did anything wrong in this situation at all, do you? Like, she's taking very, very, very little accountability. I could have done some things different. Really? Okay.
That Michelle.
Yeah, she's the bad guy here. We all want to find the bad guy that did these things. Carla wants to release judgment because when you release judgment, there's nothing else there but love. Okay, cool. Now we get Brandon and MM meeting with Pastor Cal. I like seeing Pastor Cal in our little Where Are They Now specials. Like, this feels different. Usually
It's
the experts
fresh.
aren't involved. Yeah. We don't see the experts here. So Cal's at MM's. He sits down to talk with them about the commitment ceremony. Cal's like, oh my gosh, you're glowing so much. Is this a pregnancy glow? Now, Aysha, in this moment, I was really starting to feel your position here of like, especially knowing what MM went through. To say something like that was kind of wild to me. I was just like, really? Like, too soon, Pascal, too soon.
What I felt in the pit of my stomach just for her.
Yeah.
Just like, Pastor Cal, like, you specifically know what has happened here. Why would you be the one to ask?
Like a few weeks ago, like that just happened.
Yeah, I was like, not a good look, Pascal. I don't love it. Brandon says, no pregnancy yet, but we've been practicing. And Cal says, listen, too much information. TMI. Like, I don't need to know all that. MM.
He loved it. Why? Brandon
loves to put their business out in the street.
Why are you telling everybody that y'all? We know. Everybody knows at this point.
We understand.
You don't have, like, why are you announcing? Why does it have to be just like put on a megaphone? What does that do for you?
This wants everybody to know. MM really wants Pastor Cal to give Brandon the stamp of approval because he already has her stamp of approval. Cal says, Brandon, you're a pretty big personality. You got a lot of energy. He asks MM, so like, how do you know that this isn't a case of love bombing? MM says, well, over this year, Brandon has shown me that he is a man of his word. His words and actions line up. He is very consistent. They have known each other over this last year. They love, and even when they fight fairly. And Brandon says when they do fight, she treats him like a husband and not just some random guy. It's like, okay.
Right.
Like, I don't think,
y'all are in a relationship.
Yeah, you are in a relationship of a year. I don't know if that's treating you like a husband or just, I don't know. I think there's a middle ground between husband and random guy, but all right. Cal tells him, listen, you guys act like you're married, but you're not really married. He kind of asks Brandon, like, so are you actually like divorced? Have you divorced yourself from like your past? Brandon says, yeah, I did that the day I filed for divorce, so everything's fine there. We find out that Brandon has met MM's mom. Everything is good there. We find like Cal asks about like, how about like Brandon's family? What about his father? We do get Brandon telling us about how his father passed away recently, unfortunately due to suicide, and how like they had just started reconnecting when his father did that, and it was kind of he really regrets not being able to say goodbye. And he says that's the reason he wants to be married and be the best dad ever, because he wants to give his kids what he didn't get. It's like, I mean, but you do know you are already a father, right? So, I mean, the way he's talking is like he's never been a husband or a father before. I'm just like, you do know you've already done this stuff, right?
It's as if he's like segmented, even though she consistently talks about merging their families. It's as if he's segmented. Okay, I got MM and our family, then I have my previous family, and we're just trying to figure out what those worlds look like.
Yeah. It's just a weird kind of way for him to talk, be like, I want to do that for my kid. Like, you already have 2 other ones. like not counting this future one. So are you doing that for them too? I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope it was weirdly worded, and he just means that's why he wants to be a great dad even to his current kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cal asks how they know their bond isn't a bond through trauma. And MM says, well, we don't focus on our pain or our past every day. We focus more on our future. So we're not really bonding through that trauma. Brandon says she gives him a feeling like he's never had before. MM says she can't imagine a day without Brandon. She can't imagine a future without Brandon. She has found the person she wants to grow with. This has worked on Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal says, listen, I am now talking to you. Yep. now talking to you, Brandon. I see why MM loves you. Because, Cal says, the energy you're giving at first, I wasn't sure.
He said, you are big.
Yeah, you had big energy there at the reunion. But he does see what MM sees in Brandon. He is happy they have found each other. So okay. I don't think there's going to be a way this was filmed and Pascal be like, you know what? I don't think so.
No. Absolutely not.
I'm not feeling this at all. I'm not feeling this. So now we get David. And,
you know what's funny though?
Yeah.
The care and attention that went into this conversation is never what they give their couples that are like married and like them deciding on decision day. Like they're just hanging on a thread. Like, oh, you like each other? You're gonna stay together? Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
Have y'all really taken the time to get to know each other? You like the care that Pastor Cal gave this conversation was like very necessary. I appreciated it. But I was thinking, I was like, wait. These couples that actually go through the experiment, they're just like any ounce of hope. They're like, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, because usually when the experts meet with the couples in the experiment, we have to just problem solve. Like we don't have time to really delve deep because we're trying to figure out how we can get y'all to talk to each other now. Like because y'all are talking to each other. How do we get y'all to talk to each other? How do we do this or that? There's no time to really just kind of sit down and like, okay, so how's your relationship? Like, so I think that's part of what that problem is. The next segment, David and Madison are getting their families together. They are at a pool hall, which just feels right for these two. David talks about how nervous he is meeting with Madison's dad. He is happy their families are coming together. David asked his parents, asked everybody's parents, how are they all feeling about what's going on right now? Mom is like, I feel like Madison's the one. I feel like you got a good one right there.
Said, wow.
She got you out my basement. Like I didn't do that. It was like, okay. Like I thought
even his dad was shocked.
I just don't think we got enough of what mom thought about David cheating. Like I want to know what you felt about that. I want to know how you felt. Because we heard from David.
It probably is. Well, it wasn't really cheating because they never really had a relationship.
Yeah, that's probably where she got to. But I want to know what her feelings was when she first heard that David was the one doing the cheat.
I'm telling you're not gonna get what you want, Jason.
I know.
They have no remorse. Again, David was like, "Mommy, she
was mean to me.
She was mean to me.
It's not my fault. I found someone that wasn't mean to me, Mommy."
And she's like, "I know, baby."
She's like, "I know, sweetie. I know that mean girl was so mean to you. You had no choice.
Michelle.
You had no choice but to stray. You had no other option. She gave you no other way out." Yeah. So yeah, mom's like, Madison, she's A-okay with me. She's great. David thanks his parents for supporting them and being honest with them when they need to be. See, that's what I want to hear about is honesty. Madison breaks the news to her dad about her and David living together. Dad seems pretty shocked. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." He asked David's parents, "Did y'all know about this?"
She just dropped it on him, just out of nowhere. Oh yeah, by the way, Dad.
I'm gonna live with a strange man over here. Live with this caveman. And Madison's dad's like, "Did you guys know about this?" And they're like, "Well, we kind of knew when he came to get his clothes, like because he lived in our house
out of their basement.
Yeah,
and his dad said, and yeah, we still have all our food.
Yeah, exactly. In a confessional, Dad says he was kind of shocked. He thinks it's a little premature. But we know where Madison gets this sentiment from. He's like, but the heart wants what it wants. He's like, if you know, you know. I was like, okay, well, that's where Madison got that from. David pulls Madison's dad aside and says, he feels that Madison is the woman of his dreams, and he really wishes that she would have walked down the aisle instead of another stuck-up blonde. He basically tells Madison's father, like, at some point in the future, I'm going to ask for Madison's hand in marriage. It's like, what? Well, Dad says, well, I'll give you the answer when you do. It's like, what was the point of this? Like, is David saving up for a ring? Like, I can't make Madison pay for her own ring, so I gotta save up money to get a ring. And when I get the ring, that's all I ask. I was wondering if like David was telling production, like, yeah, I'm gonna ask on the Where Are They Now special, and they come to him like, all right, you're gonna ask? He's like, well, see, I was gonna buy a ring. Yeah, I was gonna buy the ring, but then the new kegerator came out, so I had to buy that. There's so much going on. I don't got it, guys. I don't got the money for the ring.
Also, why not just ask for the blessing now? Do you think it'll expire? Like
just do it now. You don't have to show the ring when you ask for the blessings, right?
At some point in the near future, I will be asking for your daughter's hand in marriage. Not now, in the future, possibly, maybe, probably. So be ready for it. Be ready for it. It's like, what is the point of this? Dad's like, I think he wanted Madison's dad to be like, well, son, when you ask for it, you're gonna get it. So you got it, man. And the dad's just like, well, we'll see what happens when we get there. It's like, I feel like Dave was a little bit let down by that answer. But Dad kind of comes back, and Dad's like, well, as you know, Madison is a very smart woman, and she saw something in you, and it makes her happy, and I'm just happy she's found someone that she's comfortable and happy with. Dad says, you are the perfect mix for Madison. And even though the experiment didn't work as intended, they're happy with the result. I was like, okay. I mean, that sounds pretty like affirmative to me in a blessing.
Yeah.
Unless something happens in between now, when you ask for the hand in marriage, then we'll see.
Yeah.
So we come back to Tom and Camille. Tom gets home from work. He has brought her flowers and s'more supplies, which
they're so cute.
That is the way to my wife's heart. I know that for a fact.
S'more specifically, or just a sweet gesture?
S'more specifically. S'mores and flowers, she'll be all for it.
I'm a sucker for a graham cracker.
By itself.
They were very good.
Well, because I don't like chocolate.
Me neither. Twinkies.
Yeah.
Who am I on this podcast with? Chocolate haters. Oh God. So yeah, she really appreciates the s'mores and the flowers, and she says it's those little romantic things that Tom does that goes a long way. He says he loves to see her smile, and she deserves all those things that she wants. She asks what he's looking forward to a year from now in their relationship. He says he wants to buy property together. He says he wants to keep family planning. Camille agrees that they really need to get that stability so they can build on that with their family. Camille says it's been so long since she was with someone that she could picture these long-term things with, but she knows that Thomas is going to be an amazing dad. He says he wants to make sure Camille stays happy and that they can keep the consistency in their relationship. Camille says, listen, only a matter of time before we have a little Tamil running around. It's like, okay.
Did you hear the second version?
What was it?
Tamilion.
Tamilion. I like that. You can definitely see a Tamilion running around somewhere. There's definitely someone named that already. They are both excited. They're on the same page, and that they are working towards the same goals. I think this is a good little palate cleanser from the like, Tom, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Just get us back on track here. The next segment is where Ike is going to call his mother while driving. He calls his mom, tells her about the divorce lawyer meeting, and he says, Mom, you've been divorced. What's some advice you can give me?
Why is he asking about device? Why is he asking for advice about divorce a year after? Y'all don't even talk. Like, what is
Padding his screen time?
I'm so confused.
I could see this if it was a divorce from a relationship that you at any point in time cherished. But this is like, this is just paperwork for you at this point. You're happy to be rid of it. You don't, there's no emotional investment. It's just like, okay.
He's asking for actual advice on the paperwork. Like, mom, like,
he's like,
do I print all the pages?
Right. Am I supposed to print, like, if it says 1 of 4? Like, I'm not supposed to just print 1?
Doesn't really seem like a problem last time I did it, so I want to make sure I'm doing it right this time.
Can I sign it in pencil?
If I get a divorce on LegalZoom, does that count? Mom tells him he has to give himself time to heal. That time takes care of a lot of the healing for him. He talks about the guys and how, you know, it was a really uplifting meeting that he had with the other gentlemen. He said, at first, I didn't think the guys liked me. Probably because when you acted a fool at the 1 month, they always like, bro, what the hell?
Right.
So, not surprising.
And then like a jackass at the couples retreat.
Yes. You gave them plenty of reasons to be like, I'm good on him.
Mm-hmm. He says, but now he realizes they cared about him all along and his well-being. Okay. Okay, if you say so. In a confessional, Ike starts talking about about not knowing anyone in Chicago, but now he has a group of guys around him that will support him. His mom tells him, you know, it's bad that it didn't work out, but failure comes with lessons and that he will be okay. Ike says his goal is to be the truest version of himself. His marriage's demise has not hindered love for him in the future, and he is still confident that he will find it eventually.
Yay.
We get to the moment of truth, MM and Brandon's commitment ceremony. We see everyone arriving for the ceremony.
What about Walter?
What about Walter?
Michelle's dog, Walter.
What about him? Did I miss something?
Well, they showed him.
Is he okay?
We didn't see enough of Walter.
Is Walter okay? Did something happen?
He was sitting there. He was sitting there when she was like, "This is our first time. Everybody's first time ever seeing
when she was
everybody."
Getting ready. I deleted that note. There's nothing that happened there.
Walter was there.
I'm sorry, I forgot your need to talk about all things dog. Yes, Walter was in a shot on the program, and he was there present while Michelle was getting ready. Okay,
thank you.
We do see everyone arriving for the ceremony and being seated at the ceremony. MM and Brandon, I guess this isn't like a wedding ceremony where the guy can't see the woman because they were just all up together.
It's
like
commitment ceremony because that's what you do when someone is still married.
It was almost kind of like they were putting on a show. It was just like, hey, we're backstage, we're getting ready for the presentation. MM and Brent, like, yeah, they're in the back. Michelle remarks, everyone's just like, hey, where's your ex? Michelle says, oh, he's sitting over there with the other blonde. It's like, okay. Yeah, you're definitely over it, Michelle. You're definitely over it.
And this commitment ceremony was about as real as Tom's birthday party that had none of Tom's friends.
Right. Because 2 rows with no significant people. Where are Brandon's kids? Where are, just like, I'm sure MM has a great set of friends.
Cousins?
Where they at? Yeah, where was MM's cousin?
Doesn't MM come from like a big family too, I believe, or something like that? I can't remember.
Well, as far as I remember, not a lot of people showed up from her side of the family in the first wedding. So I think probably the fact this was also filmed might be a hindrance to that as well. But it was a very, very, what would I call it?
Staged?
Janky? It would maybe also be a word I would use.
I like that one.
Because it was just like, all right, we'll clear out a conference room for y'all, and you can do whatever it is you got to do. Like, right at first sight, like, I know this isn't a marriage, but you could have sprung for like a little more. Like, come on, like you put him in the back room of like some Marriott or something. I don't know what was happening here. It was real janky. Brandon enters the ceremony. Actually, Cal shows up first. He greets all the cast members, goes up front to start things off. Brandon enters, just kind of moseys up on the, I don't know if you call it an altar, or moseys up onto the stage, if you want to call it that. MM, there's no music, There's no nothing. Eminem just kind of walks in.
I looked down and I missed her walking in. I had to rewind.
Yeah, she just kind of strolls up to the front. And it's like, there's nothing here. There's no one giving her. I understand this is a marriage, but there could have been a little more. There could have been a little more pomp and circumstance. I mean, damn, she just kind of walked up on there. Like, I'm surprised she was wearing a wedding dress. Like, she just wasn't wearing like some joggers or something. Like, all right, let's do this thing. Let's go. So, the ceremony starts. Cal's doing his Cal thing, talking about the fact that, this isn't a wedding ceremony, but this is an important step in their journey. This is a commitment to be married. Cal says, listen, I know y'all are attracted to each other. This is where
y'all are going to give each other your promise rings.
Yeah. David Mash like, already got ours. Cal says, listen, we know y'all are attracted to each other because you can't keep your hands off each other. And again, Brandon has to do the clapping gesture. I was like, dude, was it not enough?
This is the other people's first time, unless they watched it at the reunion.
Yeah,
like Juan's face was like, what?
What are you doing? Cal says, this is part of what keeps relationships alive. He encourages them to do the things that keep their passion alive. Cal talks about MM's. He knows that MM has a desire to find that person to share her life with, and Cal is glad that she has found Brandon. And he tells them love is a decision to keep it going every day. They put the rings on their fingers. They kiss. He says, Cal's is like, all right, I didn't tell you to kiss yet, but I guess go off. Brandon tells her the day he met her, he took a leap of faith. She tends to his needs and his kids' needs, and he knows the commitment that she made to him will last forever. MM says this year has been a journey of ups and downs. He has been there through the brightest times and the darkest times in her life, and she is thankful to have met him and gave him and love a chance. Cal announces them committed. I like the ceremony. I did. I thought it was sweet.
Sorry, your face.
Committed. Yay, you're boyfriend and girlfriend still. Okay.
I mean, listen, we have to have something for the show. This is for the Where Are They Now special. We gotta do something big to do. They can't legally get married yet, so
clearly
this will suffice. In a confessional.
Well, okay, y'all are engaged. How about not like an engagement party?
Okay. I guess. But I think Brandon probably pushed for this. Brandon wanted a televised type of wedding event. It's probably what he really wanted. In a confessional, MM says this is all part of her growing season, and she doesn't think that she could have gotten there without Brandon. Encourages others to take the leap. She says you may fall, but just make sure you pick yourself up again. During the after party of the ceremony, Michelle pulls David aside. She's like, I'm sure you have to leave soon to go back to your broke boy job.
Do.
To go to your F boy job. Because like every time there's some event, David's like, I gotta go soon. I work 24/7. I work all the time. Like,
does he just work at a warehouse? You a warehouse bro?
Possibly. I don't know. Michelle pulls David aside, says, I know that I knew that I was a brat at the honeymoon, but watching it back made me even more aware of how rude I was to you. And she says she's really embarrassed at her reaction. She apologizes to him for her actions, which I thought was big of her. I really did. Like, whether it was for the cameras or not, like I applaud her for taking that step.
I actually didn't think it was for the cameras. I thought she was really like, ooh, that's embarrassing. I think she really was like that.
She also plans to not see them again. So this is her chance to go ahead and get that out there. Which makes sense.
It was on camera. It was she didn't want to make sure it was on camera just for everyone to document that she did apologize.
I don't think it was for the cameras.
Exactly. You don't have to tell me twice. Like Michelle, we went a whole season of Michelle like engineering her storyline and feeling like she's trying to engineer her storyline. And this is like the one time that I was like, no, I think she really was like, I think she really didn't realize how bad it looked. And it didn't feel like it was damage control. It really felt like she was really genuine about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think both things can be true. She's like, David, can I pull you over here in front of this camera?
No, you're wrong. No,
like, David, turn to your left a little bit. I want to make sure we get a good shot here. So David, I really want to apologize to you. But yeah, listen, I do think the apology was authentic, and I do appreciate her for taking that step and doing that. David's like, hey, It's all good. I really hope you grow from this. And you get like David.
That took me aback. I was like,
David.
oh.
He's like, I hope you grow from this. You get everything you really want. In confessional,
we're all, no one's perfect. We all have our flaws, okay?
I may have done one or two things that also weren't right to you, but pish posh. Who's thinking about that? Not me.
I forgive
Certainly
you.
not me. Yeah.
I forgive you.
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, I know you wronged me, but it's okay.
Terribly.
Yeah. In confessional, David says he hopes he says he has experienced personal growth from this. He doesn't regret any of it. He says, would I do it again? I'm not sure. It's like, I mean, but this is how you met your one true love. So you wouldn't go through this again. He says, but I am glad I did it. And I found what I was looking for in Madison. He's like, she's going to be the mother of my child. She's my soulmate. It's like, okay, so one child for you. Check. In confessional, Madison says, they all came to this wanting a partner. She found her soulmate David through this. He has never she's never felt this way in her entire life towards someone. We get Alan's confessional. He says,
well, there was one point, I can't remember where it was, but we haven't said it yet, where she was like, I don't know what I did to deserve what we did to deserve each other. I'm like, I know exactly what y'all did. Y'all actually do deserve each other.
You deserve each other hardcore. You literally cheated on your marriage. That's what you did to deserve this. Yes, in confessional, Madison says they all came to this wanting a partner. She found her soulmate David. I said that already. Alan's turn for a confessional. He says he's evolved and he's kind of took on a little more awareness. That he knows there's a time and a place for certain outfits, certain jokes. But he is glad he stuck to his values in this. Has no doubt that the future is promising for him. Michelle tells the whole group she doesn't know what the future holds, but she has a much better headspace going through all this. In her confessional, she says she knows she didn't handle this well, but she has taken accountability and will try to be less judgmental and is excited about what's next. Carla's group message is that she's looking forward to growing herself and her business with Wancho. With the Wancho. In her, as long as that's going to last, who knows?
For what? This was in December, so 4 months.
There you go. In a confessional, she says this experience has really opened her eyes. She can now get into a more peaceful state of mind and accept people for who they are without expectation. She says her experience with Juan was a good stepping stone into what type of relationship she really wants. Juan says, listen, I'm trying to stay in the present and enjoy the moment. Basically, like, I'm not trying to rehash anything I did wrong, so I can't say I learned anything. In his confessional, he says he is sad this didn't work out, but he did what he did and tried his best. If he could, he would go back and do it again. He made really great friends. He knows that they all have their weaknesses, but everyone does. And they have found this to be one big happy family. Because
it was so easy for him.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He didn't have to do anything. So there's no reason to. He found great new friends. Yeah, I found great new prospective business partners through this. Why wouldn't I do it again? Camila says both she and Tom have grown. They found each other. They're committed to each other. And they're showing up for one another. And it's a choice to stay in this love. And it's the best choice they have made. In her confessional, Camille says it has taken a constant effort and intentionality, and they embody what couples want from this experience. Correct, because you guys are the only ones that did. Out of the 3 couples that have come out of this, you are the one that did it the right way. Tom gives her what she's been looking for, and only time will tell in starting a family and putting down roots, but she is optimistic and hopeful. Tom says no matter how old you are, you can change and evolve, and they will work on their love and marriage every day and taking more steps into their future. In Tom's little season-ending confessional, he says this experience taught him it's okay to be himself, taught him to truly care for another person. And he says this was scary, but you don't take high risks without high reward. Madison tells the group she hopes they all find the love that some of them have found. Look, while she's staring dead in Michelle's face.
I hope that you all find the love that I found in this process
with someone else's husband. Ding, ching, ching. Michelle, hit me with the cheers, girl. You know what we're talking about. Michelle says we all took a leap of faith without knowing what was on the other side. They deserve so much more than I'm sure the world's giving them credit for right now. It's like what was the airing schedule when this was coming out? When they shot this? It was like a first probably I don't know. We started in October, right?
We started in
Yeah,
October.
so okay, December was probably,
So we're like 8
I'm
episodes
thinking
in.
we were like episode 8, 9. We hadn't quite gotten to.
So this is probably a start of why is Madison acting so
1 month.
cold? Madison acting so cold toward Alan. What is going on? So I'm sure Madison knows that she's getting a world of hurt right now, and I'm sure she's thinking in her mind and I'm going to get so much more in the next month or so. I'm going to get a lot more hate.
Exactly.
So she's trying to be like, we deserve so much more credit for the credit we're getting right now because I'm being lambasted.
Exactly.
And that is what we end the Where Are They Now special on.
That is it. Wow, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. When we started this, like you said, Mari, we did not expect the season to deliver like it did. Of course, it had to trail off and in typical MAFS fashion. But boy, did it deliver. Episode 15, special honor.
I mean, this is a top Married at First Sight season. Would you agree? Disagree?
I mean, I'm not.
Definitely.
I feel like we have not been able to even utter that sentence in since season 12. To even put it in conversation of, oh, I actually enjoy that season. I would happily recommend this season to anybody who's never seen Married at First Sight. Oh, go watch the most recent season.
Yeah,
I was locked in. This is good. Even before the explosive episode 15, it had enough.
It was
to
delivering.
Keep you going.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. So thank y'all so much for sticking with us this entire season. If you decide to continue this journey with us and continue to get some MAFS content, you can join our Patreon. You can find that at patreon.com/aperfectmatchpodcast. Can't wait for that ride with you all. And everyone, even if you're considering it, you're not quite sure, go to that website and we have a nice intro video for you to give you an idea of the Patreon. Try us out for a month. Maybe, and then you'll get 4 podcasts and you can kind of see if you want to stick around. Give us a month. Commit to a month. No, I'm not Juan. I'm not going to sell you on it. Just if you want to come hang out. Yeah.
Listen, no pressure, but I quit my job for this because Asia told me that we were going to be full-time podcasters. And then she talking about $5 a month. I'm like, how am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to, I quit my job. I had my wife quit her job because I thought it was going to be this whole big thing. Listen, so no pressure.
No pressure.
But if you want my child to eat next month, it's up to you.
Oh,
no pressure.
My gosh.
No
that self-promotion was about as subtle as everything we got this season.
Yes, so please go to patreon.com/aperfectmatchpodcast. Can't wait to go on that ride with you, Gala. Make sure you go subscribe or go follow our Instagram at A Perfect Match Podcast, where we'll be posting clips and posting stories for your enjoyment. Make sure you go join the Facebook group. You can find us at A Perfect Match Podcast. And this week, the password is Wanchos Ponchos, which is probably not a thing anymore. So it was short-lived.
They're going to have a lot of Wanchos Ponchos in those third world countries. They send those, the team that didn't make the Super Bowl, they send those T-shirts too. There's going to be a lot of old Wanchos Ponchos that weren't able to get sold down there.
Right. Because it's okay, she said it so much. So is Juan supposed to continue it now that they are no longer friends? Or does she continue it with Juan's face and his name? No. Neither one of them should take this. So, anywho.
This company is...
Yeah. So thank y'all so much for this wild ride. Jason, where can people keep up with you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at JR33D. As far as podcasting endeavors right now, I have The Good Pod with me and Marissa Garza. We're talking about the show The Good Wife and the spinoff Elsbeth, which is currently airing its 2nd season. You can also catch me on the We Know Scripted TV feed of Rob Has Podcast, where me and Sasha Joseph are talking about the show Daredevil Born Again, having a fun time with that. So check that out as well. And yeah, the Patreon, I just want to hit that again. Again, if you are on an Apple device, do not sign up through the app. Sign up through a desktop, laptop, whatever other devices you have that are not Apple affiliated, because you will get a service charge. Of course, after you sign up on that desktop or laptop, you will still have all that content on your Patreon app on Apple. It's just do not sign up through the Apple app. But you can still use the Apple app after you sign up, because it will all still be there, just to avoid that service charge. Cannot say that enough. We don't get anything of that service charge. That's all Apple. So I'm trying to help you avoid that. But yes, that is all from me. Asia, what about you?
Yeah, y'all can follow me at Aysha like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Yeah, I'm most active on Instagram, but you can find me on all social media. Mari, what about you?
You can find me over on the Recap Kickback podcast with Chappelle. You can go to recapkickback.com to subscribe, and go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@recapkickback. This week, we will be talking about Beyond the Gates. Me, Chappelle, and our guest, Camille AF. We went to Fairmont Crest. It is a new soap opera. It is the first predominantly Black soap opera in 35 years, apparently. And we decided to watch the first week of episodes, the first 5 episodes. And when I tell you this is a soap opera, it is a soap opera. So many things happen in that first five episodes. We had so much fun talking about it. So please go and check that out over on Recap Kickback. Then over on the Crime Scene podcast, me and Sarah Carradine were joined by TikTok Nicole, Nicole Horn, aka TikTok Nicole, to talk about Devil in the Family, the story of Ruby Frankie. It's a 3-part docuseries on Hulu about the family vlogger Ruby Frankie, who was a Mormon mom who ended up going to jail for
Wait, that's on. Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I saw like the graphic for it.
Yes, she essentially goes to jail for torturing her youngest 2 kids. So it was actually a very good docuseries on Hulu, and we had a very good discussion on it on Crime Scene. So go to crimescenepod.com. That's crime SEEN pod.com to subscribe, or type in Crime Scene to the podcatcher of your choice. And you can subscribe to us there. I am also on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much 2, like the number 2. That's where I am at. So please go follow me over there. And that's it.
Awesome. Well, this has been a great season. Sad to see it go, but happy to continue podcast coverage over on Patreon. So we will be seeing y'all for season 19. Season 19 is in Austin, and it will be on Peacock. So, and
I should also mention that if you join the Patreon, pretty soon we're going to be doing a little bit of a first reaction on the season 19 cast, because a lot of the pictures of the cast were released. We'll talk about how we're feeling about it. We'll talk about some of the twists that are in this season 19, because there's a couple interesting things about this season. So if you join the Patreon, we'll talk a little bit about it in the upcoming week. That's a little extra something we're also going to give to our Patreon people. So check that out as well. Like I said earlier, I will be posting the polls on all of our social medias to see which season you want us to cover of the past seasons that Asia and I have not covered.
Yep. So thank y'all so much. Cannot thank y'all enough for the support this season. And we will definitely see you next season to talk about season 19 here on RHAP. But for those of you who are going to join us on Patreon, we'll see you like next week or whenever you sign up, because there's already a podcast there waiting for you.
You can literally see us now. And I'm telling you, that
you can see us now. You can see us in 5 minutes.
That ranking of the husbands, I had a lot of fun with it. I think
it was fun.
Time. Yeah.
It felt like a nice trip down memory lane.
Yeah, and already some things I still want to redo about those rankings. I looked at them again. I was like, you know what? I think I'd probably put this person a little higher up or a little lower. So yeah,
it's a living document.
It's a living document. We can change it anytime we want. As we go through these seasons, we're gonna be like, you know what? Let's put him a little bit higher up in that tier we had him in, because I forgot some of the BS he did during his season. So follow along with us as we do all those things. Yeah, we're gonna have a great time over at the Patreon. Yes. So I really hope you all come and join us.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, and until next season. Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.